Welcome to the Planning Board for September 22nd, 2021. This meeting is being televised by Chelmsford Telemedia and is being conducted in person in room 204 of the town offices. We will continue with the Zoom component links for the public until further notice. The call-in number is 929-205-6099. Continue public hearing. The Town of Chelmsford Planning Board will be a public hearing on Wednesday, September 8, 2021 at 2 o'clock, town offices, for the purpose of receiving the public comment to amend the town code, chapter 195 zoning bylaw, and chapter 202 subdivision of land as follows. All right. To amend off-street parking and loading, purpose of intent number 5, section 195-21H, J3K article, is that 8, environmental protection standards, section 195-40, C,
that's pretty bad.
article 4, landscaping, is that 4? Yeah.
That's 9.
9, landscaping, section 195-41G and H, and article 10, earth removal, C2A, section 195-104E, 4 and 7, for purpose of amending existing provisions and add new provisions related to stormwater and low-impact development standards. And to amend Chapter 202 subdivision of land, Article 3 design standards and improvements, Section 202-12F, 202-13C, 2A, Section 202-14, A, B, C, D, E, and G, Section 202-17, B, Section 202-19, A and D, 202-21, 202-22 for purpose of amending existing provisions and adding new provisions related to stormwater and low-impact development standards.
Hey, could you repeat that? I don't think I heard it.
Glenn Cole, the first time he had like a dictionary for him to read.
All right. What do we have?
So this is a continued hearing.
Continuing hearing, so she's already said her things. She's supposed to see if there's anything
Yes.
from the public.
Let's see if, let's ask, Colleen, is anyone on Zoom from the public?
Can't forget your pen now.
Chelmsford Telemedia, anyone from Zoom on the public?
I don't see anyone up there. It's only...
You could leave it open for a couple minutes while we do the meeting minutes.
Yeah.
That sounds like a great idea. We'll leave the public meeting open, go through the meeting minutes.
Nobody chimes in.
Now, I read all the meeting minutes.
I did too.
Now, there are lots of little typos in there.
Yeah.
And I looked at them and I said, none of these really affect the ones that I saw. You found something that was wrong, but nothing I saw actually affected the meaning or interpretation. It wasn't going to cause a problem. And I decided it wasn't worth spending 2 hours marking it up. So why don't we just approve them with the typos in them? I mean, they
I didn't see anything, yeah, exactly.
I saw nothing that confused the issue.
On the top one in the front where I recused myself was not noted.
Okay,
1 Billrica Road.
I also recused myself.
Yeah, I believe the other one for March, no, what am I saying, March? June 23rd is the other one.
Work session.
June 23rd meeting minutes. Because I didn't see anything in here for me recusing myself, and I believe you recused yourself there. Oh, wait. Nope, nothing.
okay, so Evan, can we make those changes? Yep.
You can vote with the amendments?
Yeah, may I suggest, I see no reason why this can't be done in one motion.
I'm fine with that. Everybody else?
I would be willing,
As amended.
yes.
So the work session on June 16th says I was absent, but I was late.
Okay, so we'll make that
You got that
correction.
note?
June
Posting
16th.
said 7 in one place and 6:30 in
Yeah,
another,
yeah,
and
we
I
had
came
a
at
problem.
7.
That's correct.
You were on time.
Well, in my little
Yeah,
world.
you were in your car, I think.
As long as it's in your little.
All right, so with those changes amended, Mike?
I move that we approve the minutes of 5/26, 21, 6/9, 21, 6/16, 21, 6/23, 21, 7/28, 21, 8/11, 21, and 9/8, 21, as they have been amended here.
I'll second that.
Second by Paul. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain.
One abstain.
All right, so we're now
Do-
caught
Do
up.
we have anyone from the public?
I don't have anybody in here but Erica.
Bueller?
Okay.
Erica? Do you have anything?
Hello. Nope, I'm all good.
Does anybody have anything?
Okay. then
The only thing I have, and we're gonna have to deal with it as the board, is the maintenance of some of these things is in the future that we talk about.
Right, and I think that we may be able to do that by regulation if we're careful.
But I, you
Yeah,
know,
you're dead on, though.
Yeah.
Well, I would, if it's appropriate, make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Erica?
Erica?
Aye.
She doesn't need to vote, but,
Doesn't
but-
vote on that.
I guess,
Make a motion to endorse?
yeah, I think we should endorse. I'll move that. I move that we endorse these changes, and I think along with that, we need to particularly thank our town engineer for doing an absolutely marvelous job with this stuff.
Sounds great, thank you.
Second.
Second by Nancy, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Erica?
Aye, if I have the vote.
Yeah.
Thanks, Erica. All right,
You want to do it, or shall I?
No, you need to do next meetings first.
Oh. Well, we've got a meeting next Wednesday, which
That's
is
right,
joint
which
at
is not on
6:30.
here, and should be.
He's gonna
Yeah.
send it out tomorrow, he said.
Yeah, he's going to send that out
Okay.
tomorrow.
With some
what is that,
information.
that's 29?
Will that be
Yeah, 20.
Yeah.
publicly aired or no?
9:29,
Good question.
and 6:30, and it's here,
Yes, in this room.
We'll be sitting in the cheap seats. Let them kick us
Yeah,
out.
selectmen. We'll take
They
this.
all right.
Evan, will next week's meeting be publicly
Yes,
aired?
yes.
And will there be time for public input or no?
Something I'll have to discuss. I can tell you that I think the focus is with the two boards. And then if this proceeds after the 29th, there's opportunities for townwide
Yeah, well, this is.
presentations, then planning board zoning, public
If worse
hearing.
comes to worse, I mean, if they need a
People showing up at my house
chair, it doesn't matter.
screaming about the thing.
Yeah, well, I don't think
go to
anybody
town meeting.
knows what the facts are. I know that there are members at this table that still don't fully understand what's being proposed and the mechanism as to what's being voted. So there's been a lot of information, and it's clear to me that the public doesn't have all the information either. But
Yeah, we know when,
the
right?
process to date has really been an engagement between the proponent and the two chief elected boards
And the neighbors.
at the request of the two chief elected boards.
Yeah.
So I think my expectation on the 29th is that the proponent's looking for a clear indication as to what's the town's preference or direction on how to get to town meeting.
Okay.
That will all be, clearly laid out next week. And they'll obviously review everything that's been presented to date. The draft zoning will be emailed tomorrow, the draft development agreement as well. So the two boards at that point will have a comprehensive package that provides, all of the details and supporting information. And then, like I said, it's really a matter as to, does anyone want this to go to town meeting? And if so,
Well, I'm assuming, though, that there's been changes to this proposal since they first met with us, right?
there's been changes based upon direct abutter discussions.
Well, that's the most important.
But the scope and scale hasn't changed.
Okay.
But the perimeter based upon.
Which is what we actually
Yeah,
asked.
which is
so-
what you guys asked them for them to do. Right. But I agree, I think, to Henry's point, while the proponent has reached out to the immediate abutters, and some are for it, some are against it, there hasn't been any engagement with the community.
Townwide.
Yeah.
Writ
Yeah.
large.
Which they probably really, there hasn't been a lot of opportunity too. I mean, we could probably.
Yeah, so I think that's part of, to
you know.
Deidre's point,
Yeah.
that's part of next week's discussion.
Yeah.
But I think, like I said, I'm fairly certain the proponent's looking for some indication as to whether there's any interest in getting this to town meeting.
Would it be shooting for going to town meeting this fall?
It wouldn't be part of the regular fall town meeting, that warrant's already been signed.
I was gonna say that.
So there is a legal opportunity to have a special
Special.
town meeting called prior
For,
to Thanksgiving.
Oh,
But that decision would need to be made next week.
you couldn't do a special town meeting at the end or the beginning of the
No,
regular?
because the zoning article requires a planning board public hearing.
Yeah, we would still have to do it.
That's a minimum, legal advertisement, it's a minimum of 30 days.
Okay. Thank you. So, okay, if it were to go with 15% with David's choice, that would then bring us back into safe haven? And at what point, like immediately upon,
Upon the issuance of the zoning permit.
okay. And then if it were to get 25% so that the whole, you know, maybe we don't, I'm sure they would only be willing to do the 80%, which David wouldn't consider affordable, but if they were to do the 80%, that would bring the whole 394 or 300 and whatever units along.
75%?
It would, yes, but it won't be this proponent, they've made that very clear.
They won't do that.
No, that's not what they're proposing.
So basically, that's what people have been asking me.
Yeah.
Yeah, is
Yeah.
if this goes by the wayside, we're gonna get a 40B development.
Yeah.
So, do we want 40B development, or do we want this? That's what it's gonna come down to.
Exactly.
It's
40B,
the same-
40B development would certainly solve our housing percentage problem.
But it could be
That's right.
800 units.
No, you can't
It-
fit
it-
all
You can't.
It may.
They need to treat the sewer.
It may benefit, a 40B may provide more units towards your 10%.
Right.
But it may not be the type of housing or the
That you
kind of
want, yeah,
development the
true.
community wants. And it certainly may not include a partnership with the housing authority.
Right.
So again, there's pros and cons. That's why I said earlier in the work session, you know, this may be a proactive option. But any development there, just based upon economics and finances, is going to be large.
So the choice project would be out if it went 40B.
If it's a traditional
too, and
40B,
have- So you could
highly
have more
likely.
units, which would then be
Yeah.
more taxing on everything.
Yeah.
But how many units would we get then?
So these are.
A lot more units.
No, there's only so much space on the yacht lot. You can only go so
If they're gonna-
high, you can only go so,
Give us 10% of 600.
no.
I guess,
no,
yeah.
But I mean, you only fit so much on the land.
How much
Then
could they
they're
fit
not-
on the land
then
with a
They're
40B?
not leaving extra, well,
Yeah,
extra.
What would
what's
you
your
think
sense of
though,
that?
Henry? if-
Maybe a couple hundred more.
That's a
I mean,
significant
that's
amount.
significant.
Yeah.
And again, you need more because you're providing 10% more affordable housing. Instead of 15%, you're going to 25%. But it's all dependent on the specifics. The driving factor with this development is the costs that are already into the property. And while,
Well, it's not our concern, though.
and while
We're
that's
not
not,
in the
while that's not
business
a
of
planning board
bailing out.
concern, as the planning board knows, 40B doesn't go through the planning board.
That's right.
Yeah.
So that's.
Right. So we can say it doesn't matter, but at the
40
end of the day,
It doesn't matter, but
matters.
the unique opportunity here is that the town is in a position to be proactive if it so
Direct it to,
chooses.
yeah.
Yeah, partner
Drive the
with.
bus.
Exactly. If the town wants to say thanks but no thanks, then, Plan B is likely pretty predictable.
Yeah, I don't think anyone
And
would
if you
like
look
it
at
going
Turnpike Road and what we approved
Yeah.
down there, I don't think they would have squeezed much more in there.
No, they did quite a,
What do you,
I think-
which place?
To work with the single family.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, well,
Turnpike.
Turnpike was restricted by FAR.
Yeah.
The maxed out FAR.
right.
Under 40B, it's exempt.
Yeah.
But you're right, I mean, there's a carrying capacity, particularly with a wastewater treatment plant.
I mean, they've got wetlands down there, they have to put in a wastewater treatment plant. They probably could put in a parking garage and deal with the,
Yeah.
parking lot
Again,
issues,
Whether
but,
that kind
How
of
many
How many story
development.
building were they putting in the back there?
what?
How many story building were they putting in the back there?
They're putting a four, and it's sitting on the very top of the hill,
Yeah,
which
and
means it's gonna look like a castle.
when you get down to the bottom of that hill, you got nothing but wetlands.
That's right.
maybe we should have a castle up there.
There you go.
Cannons.
Well, we get a
Yeah, right,
motion.
alligators in the moat.
Henry.
Henry, would you like to make this motion, or shall I?
Motion to adjourn?
That one.
Yeah. I just made it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thanks, George.
Thank you.